This week is Lead Safe National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. It is a week that is a national week that is set aside to recognize across this nation the problem of lead poisoning in the urban areas of the nation. We have had our continued struggles in the city of Cleveland relative to this issue. This weekend, the Plain Dealer just printed what has happened in the last 2 years: toxic neglect. It is a fact that 40% of the children in our school systems have been poisoned by lead. It is a problem of poverty. It is a problem of substandard housing. I've stood on this floor once I became more and more aware of the problem after the Plain Dealer series a couple years ago. I took it upon myself to learn more about this. I began to tell you on this floor that there is a health crisis. And then we made some attempts by passing a law that dealt with rental inspection. You see, there's this primary approach of dealing with this poison, and there is this secondary approach. We traditionally do the secondary approach is that we wait till we find out that the children have been infected, and then we're supposed to respond. The state have certain rules. We know that we've fallen short. We know that health directors and commissioners have been fired connected to this issue because this administration in the last 12 years has a questionable commitment to getting it done. And this council must take the blame as well. We have a problem in the urban areas of this city of children being infected by lead poisoning. It's 2 times that of Flint, yet we don't get the same type of notoriety that Flint got, but we did receive from large national publications the reality of how bad Cleveland is. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? I saw the release by this administration took pride about what's going on this week of recognition of lead poisoning. It talks about testing at a couple of rec centers. It talks about having some lunches. The problem is that while we're passing legislation to do $8 million worth of demolition, the problem is not removing the blight, folks. The problem is the intervention of houses before they are infected in the anemic response that we are doing today. I know that many of us are hanging our hat that we have this inspection process, but only 25% are actually going to get done with the dust wipe. I put legislation in August 9/90/17. Some accused me because I was in the middle of a campaign, and that's why I did it, and despite the fact that I have been raising my voice the last 2 years. I've been told later that probably doing that actually hurt me because homeowners are afraid of being charged. So I said, even though it was permissive, there was still that fear. We have to spend the money to fix the homes, these substandard homes. We spend so much money on demolition. Don't you understand how to solve this problem? It's not removing empty houses, folks. It's intervening into the houses where people are actually living and spending the money to clean them up. We have this antagonistic relationship with landlords. We find lead exposure in the child, we make the landlord fix it, and we stand on the sideline and then hit him or her. We're not going to do it that way. I need more landlords in Ward 10. I don't need slum landlords. I need landlords. I need folks who care enough to do housing to put these families that need housing into them. But I don't need the poisonous housing. So what is our role? I think we have to create public-private partnerships and remediate these houses. Now, when the RNC came in, we had no problem with raising money. Is that 2 minutes more? And when the Browns came, we had no problem. So during this week, let's not rest on this idea that we've got it fixed, because it's very broken. Our kids require our service. And we need to be able to listen and bring my bill to council and get it out of the health department, who's been sitting on it since August. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.